Hi guys, welcome back to another Warframe video. I have a question for you all. How many of us played through that demo, played through the demo with Arthur, and unknowingly, instinctually, played it as though we were playing any other regular FPS, like Call of Duty, Halo, Battlefield, instead of jumping, flying around, throwing ourselves into the enemies? How many of us did that? Because I know for a fact I did, without even realizing. And I was like, wait a minute. I'm still very much Excalibur. I'm playing Excalibur minus the helmet, and plus, Jason Statham from Target, doing the voice lines. So, why am I playing this like I'm playing a veteran difficulty COD game? What? It was instinctual, and MC Gamer CZ also touched on this. Surely we all didn't do the same thing, right? Like, surely we all didn't. But regardless of how many of us actually did, I would like to see in the comments if you also did this. Like, you started going, and by, like, playing, like, those games, I mean taking cover. How many of us were doing that? Full auto up close, mid-range, burst fire, and then farther out, just one bullet at a time. How many of us were taking cover? How many of us were, corner peeking? Doing those diabolical angles? How many of us were doing that? The one thing that I did do that wasn't Call of Duty is I kept getting on the roofs for higher ground. How many of us were doing that? How many of us were playing like we were going through a Battlefield mission? Oh, that's so cool. I find that so fascinating on a psychological level. Because, like, we go from having our faceless Warframes with all of these crazy abilities, which we still completely have access to all of Excalibur's abilities, and we're just jumping and flying through and running in and slamming on everything. And then all of us that did that, even knowing that this is still basically exactly Excalibur with the same abilities. The only thing we don't have as Arthur is transference teleportation for mobility. That's all we don't have. We still have everything else. And yet, without even thinking, we still took cover, engaged enemies from farther away, had plenty of trigger discipline, was making sure to peek corners to see where the enemies were at, and potentially getting higher ground. In addition to this, I also really did not use any of the abilities, and my melee weapon was almost completely neglected entirely. I was just going through a man and his rifle, taking out enemies. I did use the bike though a little bit, that was pretty fun. But I don't know, so I'm kind of all over the place about this, but I'm very fascinated by this, and I want to know, so leave in the comments, like I said before, if you, in fact, played this way, and didn't realize it until after you finished the mission, midway through, or even up until now. Remembering, looking back on it now that I've mentioned, please tell me. Tell me if you also played that way, even though you were fully aware you didn't have to, and you just slipped right into it. I will say, this is a testament to how good the map and art and music team and everybody, basically the whole art department is at DE of making an environment, of making like an awesome atmosphere, because you feel like you were in regular modern day times, right? So I know that's part of the psychology. They literally put you in a place that makes it feel like you're basically in Dark Sector, right? That game, which I didn't play personally, but I am going to pick it up at some point and play it. It was one of their earlier games, but like as soon as I went in there, I just instinctually felt like I was playing, like I said, a Call of Duty mission or a Dark Sector or, a Battlefield campaign mission or something like that. And I was just going through doing that without even thinking, because of the environment that they created. The cityscape, like the tight city, with all the apartment buildings, the shops, the neon signs, everything, it felt like a modern shooter game. It felt like a modern shooter. And I responded accordingly, along with a bunch of the rest of us. And played it like a modern shooter game. So it is a testament to their skill and talent to be able to create an environment that we naturally adapt or revert to, and proceed as though it was such an environment. Another part of it is as well is that it is technically different. I think part of that psychology is that now we have a face, and he's talking. It is a different person, a different character. And seeing that we are actually playing a human with a modern-day weapon, going through a modern-day city, fighting weird gas-infused, I don't know, something like gas-infused Bane minion-looking people. But they're still very much people, not infested. You know, just a human with his human gun in a human city, fighting human, albeit weird, probably mutated, humans, but still humans, soldiers, defying a human, very hot boss. Like, the ones of us that did it, just, we played him like a human in just like any other day, like we were playing Division, Ghost Recon. I don't know, I just find that really cool, and, you know, I'm just really chuffed about it. I just think that's awesome, because it's a very widespread phenomenon, and a lot of people just did that. And a lot more probably didn't even realize they did, and they were just playing through it. But a lot of us played differently. We played like we were playing a regular, you know, 1 to 3 shot human regular character. But we still have shields, we're still a Warframe, we can still jump 50 feet in the air, we can still wall latch, like, glide, you know, use Excalibur's abilities. We can still do all of the same stuff, but didn't. I don't know, that's cool. And I just felt like it deserved to be talked about, so, yeah. Leave in the comment section if you did or not.